to continue our string of reviews of the financial markets. Today's actually a pretty slow day. It's the Sunday of a 3-day Labor Day weekend. Not a lot of stuff going on in the financial world. The tariffs went into effect both in China, I think on 75, is it billion? I don't know, on a bunch of stuff, and in the U.S. and a bunch of more stuff. So we'll see if anything else happens from there. I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Well, that's what you get for doing things live. Sorry about that. So that's going on. So far, no, he said, she said going on. So that's all good. Uh, there's this really large hurricane going on in the Caribbean. That is something we all should watch out for, and hope it takes I don't know, a sharp U-turn or away from the coast. Um, I hope everybody that's in the way of it has chosen to get away. I just saw that it was a Category 5 and 180-mile-an-hour sustained winds. I can't even fathom that. So take shelter, take cover, be well. You know, hope it takes a right turn. But staying with the financial information, something I said in yesterday's video is there's two guys that I'll read every article where I see their name highlighted. Yesterday was Ray Dalio, which was the first one, and the second one was Warren Buffett. So it's funny enough, Warren Buffett article came up today. He celebrated his 89th birthday yesterday on August 30th. So Warren, happy birthday if you ever see this. Thanks for all you do. But what caught my attention is they did a summary of a presentation he and Bill Gates gave at Columbia University. I believe it was a year or two ago. And it was interesting because the topic was basically, how do you know you led a good life, right? And at the time I think he was 87, and you got to realize that the individual answering this question is closer to the end of his life than the beginning. So I'm sure his answer would have been different at 22 or 25 or 35. But he was proposing that, when you get to be his age, you've led a good life by how many of the people that you want to love you actually love you, right? He went on to explain that it's not about your bank account. Now, obviously, this is coming from somebody who has more money than like 6 people on the planet or whatever it is. So take that for a grain of salt. But I believe him, right? What he was going for was saying that, it doesn't matter how many hospital wings or libraries or whatever you have named after yourself. If the people that you want to be around every day don't love you, respect you, make you a better person, then you have led a horrible life. His quote was, "Your life has been a disaster." And I'm like, wow, how many people that I know, and I'll ask you to think about, that quote unquote are materialistically well off, but their life's a disaster. Their significant other doesn't care for them. Their kids hate them. They don't have any friends. They have acquaintances that interact with them and then talk garbage behind their back. I thought this was an interesting perspective. Again, from somebody who's closer to the end of his life than the beginning, granted, taking money off the table. He's like, you know, money's not that, can't take it with you. And I'm really, really just flabbergasted by your life's a disaster. So I thought that was pretty interesting. The other thing he proposed is you need to associate with people that make you better, not yes men, right? He didn't say yes men, but that's where I think he was going. And this was in regards to his friendship with Bill Gates, right? There's a large age gap between the two gentlemen, and they've been friends for years. The reason it worked for both of them is they both made each other better, right? They were unbalanced, to use a word they referenced in the article. And, Bill brought Warren into the technology world, right? And Warren, brought Bill into investing. And let's give Bill and Melinda credit for helping Warren Buffett, give away his money through charity work, which is really outstanding. And then the last thing I just want to give a shout out to is, talking to the students again at Columbia. Warren Buffett was saying one of the number one things you have to get right is your spouse. He gave huge credit to his first wife, who unfortunately passed away of I think it was throat cancer a decade or two ago. It was quite a while. Um, in making him a better man. When he admitted when he was married, he was a very unbalanced individual who would do nothing but what people think. Right? Read a lot, talk about it, look at investments, just keep going. And it was because of her that he took up and became more balanced, cared about equal rights, cared about feminism, cared about all these other things. Even broached the idea of giving her money away was her doing. So I thought today would be an interesting day. It's a day after Warren's birthday. Again, happy birthday. Um, think about the quality of your life. To use Warren's question, is your life a disaster? And it doesn't matter where you are, age wise, money wise. If your life's a disaster, fix it. You control it. How many people around you make you better? How many people around you challenge you? So that's today's I don't know, article, thoughts, information. I want to wish you all well. If you're on the East Coast and watching this, I hope you've taken cover, shelter, all of that. Again, I will hope that it takes a sharp right turn and becomes a problem for no one. But be well, everybody. Take care.